everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so thankful you took the time and wanted to quilt with me. I have something super special for you today. I wonder if you would like to see what I'm working on it right now. It's cute little block from our Palm Spring quilt. Isn't that sweet? It's 6.5 by 6.5 and the design is just wonderful. If you are interested in it, this is the pattern that I'm working from. Palm Springs, and it has a beautiful waves of rainbow through it. This quilt can be achieved with our linen texture 2 fabrics. I know you heard that name before, linen texture. We had so many beautiful quilts from linen texture a few years ago. Oh, from our illuminate to our sewing basket, our variegated thread, and the beautiful free pattern that I did it with a jelly roll. Those quilts are just wonderful. Yes, you're right. It's a free pattern. You can go ahead to our website and download it for yourself. It is just wonderful. And do not forget to watch the video how to make this quilt. But today, would you like to see how to make the Palm Spring block? I have the pattern. All the directions for the whole quilt is here. I'm gonna show you one block how I do it. For the fabrics I have chose, you can either go ahead with a jelly roll. Those are already pre-cut to 2.5 inches, or you can go ahead and you would have a little bit more fabric and a little bit more variety if you use a fat quarter bundle. Either one is acceptable. With the jelly roll, you don't have as much flexibility in color, but it is enough to do the quilt. Also, you're gonna need 2 lights for a background, light 1 and light 2, and I chose also linen texture fabrics. The one of them is 9057 L2 and 9057 L3 is the second piece. I'm gonna put them to the side and I'm gonna show you how I cut my fabrics. I open the jelly roll, I grab my beautiful Creative Grids ruler, and I section my jelly roll to smaller section. All the directions are in the pattern. So you have a 2.5, 4.5, 6.5 sections. As soon as you do that, you're gonna go ahead and group them together. And on average, you're gonna get 3 to 4 from a jelly roll, you're gonna get 3. From a fat quarter, you get 4 of the same color. So that way you get a nice variety of colors through the quilt. Then the next set, I went in and go ahead and cut my backgrounds to 2.5 inch strips and then section them to the smaller section. And remember, we have 2 color backgrounds. We have a little bit lighter and a little bit darker. Why am I doing the 2 color backgrounds? Because it's gonna give me also a secondary design right through the quilt. If you wanted to, you can use 1 color background to the whole quilt. It's gonna be just as spectacular. Do not worry. It is just a little bit more planning if you do that 2 colors. So speaking of planning, I went ahead and paired up my lights with my darks and laid it out on my design wall. And I found one of the blocks so magical and interesting. It is the orange one. I love to start with an orange. So I went ahead and I took the larger strip and I placed a small square right sides together just like this, following directions. And in the pattern you have 2 blocks, block A and block B. They're a mirror image of each other. So remember and pay attention, which block are you making? You're gonna need the same amount of pieces, but it's just a different angle when you start drawing and cutting. So I'm gonna make one of those blocks for you, and I'm gonna start by figuring out if this is gonna be my block A or block B. I'm gonna leave that to you to find it in the pattern, and you're gonna go ahead and place the ruler point to point just like this on the light square and draw a diagonal line right here. Then you're gonna go ahead and draw a diagonal line right here on those 2 beautiful rectangles. And if you do not see where to point it, you're gonna go ahead, look at this line right here, 45-degree line. You're gonna find it. You're gonna match that line with the edge. Then you're gonna go ahead and pointed right here, and now you can draw it beautifully. There you go. Oh, I'm glad I redid that, because look at my first line wasn't accurate. I'm talking too much. That's what happened. I'm prepping everything and talking to you, and I missed it. So, and now I have the last one to draw it, and this one has to go this way also. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my line. In the pattern, you have a step by step. So once you decide which ones you're doing, it's gonna be super easy to determine. First, like I said, dedicate your colors, lay the whole quilt on your design wall so you get that rainbow arrangement, and then start sewing block by block. And you can mark them, you know, left, right, which way you're gonna draw, because there is a one side or the other side to get that mirror image, to get that wave. Now, do you notice what I'm doing? I'm putting a pin on every single one of those so they nicely stay together. And now I'm gonna go ahead and stitch using my beautiful Aurifil thread and my wonderful Macrotex sharp needles. And this package is a variety package. It has 60, 70, and 80 needles, and it's just amazing to have a little variety. So please put a new needle in and start sewing. And we're gonna start sewing from the top straight down. Why do I start right here? Because when I tried to start sewing from this point, my needle pushed everything and it started crimple, and I did not like that. I wanted to do it from here. If you're starting from here, make sure you have a leader. That way you put a little fabric, push it right through it, and it's gonna be amazing. So right there, you're gonna start another one. Oh, magically right here in our studio, I have all of those for you done. So look at it. This one and this one, every single one, it's ready, set, go for you here. And next thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this little triangle off by placing my ruler right onto a 1/4 inch away from the stitch line and make a really nice gentle cut. This one is done. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing right here. Let me see. Oh, I couldn't see that line. Make sure you use a nice thread that you can see it. That is important. So I like to use the light, but maybe a little bit darker taupe be better for me. I tell you that a thread blends so well. It is amazing. So right there, push it right there. This is great. Now I'm gonna open it up and push my seam allowance towards the dark. Push my seam allowance towards the dark. Look at this. One, another one. Let's push it towards the dark. Super. This piece is done. And look at here. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Oh, this is wonderful. 1, 2, and 3. I have all my units to make a one block. All that I have to do is match it up, sew it, flip it open, match it up, sew it, flip it open, and I would have my first block finished, set, go, just like I did this one. Isn't that wonderful? Keep going, keep making them, and you're gonna have a beautiful, beautiful quilt where you can enjoy it. And this is how you make a palm spring block. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy quilting, and I wish you all the best. Make sure you visit our website at laundrybasketquilts.com, and make sure you give us thumbs up for this video so you can see more of how to do things in quilting with me. And I am so thankful you took the time to quilt with me today.